Day of sun, blue skies, green trees above, all kinds of wonderfulness. And yeah, this video is really intended for all the people who are investing in Bitcoin, trading in Bitcoin, holding Bitcoin, thinking one day they're going to be rich when Bitcoin gets to $100 million. Here's the thing. First of all, if you don't have any, obviously it won't. Most people don't have any. And if most people don't have any by the time Bitcoin would ever hit such dizzying heights, well, it won't benefit them, right, in terms of monetary value. The other obvious thing is that most people don't have a whole Bitcoin. Now, you don't need $100 million to be rich, but that's in today's money. What happens if it takes until the year 2050, 2060, 2070? Well, for a lot of people, that might not be really relevant. It might be past our time or who knows what. But if you're a young buck or not even born yet, but your parents were smart enough to put some Bitcoin away for you, you might be very lucky. However, again, most people will never own a whole Bitcoin. Right now it's estimated that there's only about 1.5 million people who even own a whole Bitcoin. And, the vast majority of Bitcoin's already in the hands of massive wallet holders. So the chance that you will own a whole Bitcoin by the time it's worth anything even remotely close to 100 million, pretty small. Now let's look at the other aspect to consider. Right now, $100 million is, well, still a lot of money. It still puts you in the very rich class. It does not make you fantastically wealthy. It does not make you anything close to even a billionaire, but it makes you very rich. At $100 million in today's money, you should not have any financial problems unless you really don't know how to manage money and you haven't bothered to ever learn anything about it. And you can't be bothered to get a basic education on the subject matter or even just hire a professional accountant to just manage your funds for you, right? Which is all you'd really need to do. In 20, 30, 40 years' time, maybe more, 45 years from now, what will 100 million United States dollars be worth? Would you still be able to buy a house for $100 million in 45 years? Would you be able to buy a car? Would you be able to buy a roll of toilet paper? And you might joke and say, oh, that's ridiculous. Of course you'll be able to buy those things for $100 million. Well, if the dollar keeps depreciating the way it's been at an accelerating rate, slowly but surely, once it hits a certain velocity, it will get into a hyperinflation situation, unless it is just cut off and readjusted into a completely different currency, or the game is changed. Which means that yes, 100 million in today's money still makes you very rich. But 45 years from now, that honestly might just be middle class. let's not kid ourselves. The dollar is dying. Okay? It's dying a very slow death, but it is a fiat currency. By definition, that means it's dying because they keep printing more. So eventually, there won't be any room to play with in the sense of it maintaining its value, in any sense of a useful unit of account that doesn't see insanely high volatility on day-to-day price changes of basic goods. And ultimately, that's what causes the devaluation of a currency, is when you print so much of it, right? Doesn't matter how many you start with. It matters that you just keep piling on, right? If they'd started the U.S. dollar and said there's 500 quintillion dollars, and they would have started with that and managed the budget within that forever, then might never have had to print more. But when you print fiat to death, well, then it has a death. Anyway, there you go. Food for thought. Happy Bitcoining.